Nothing in the world like Bowling Green, Ohio, and nothing in the sport of truck pulling like the Georgia Rebel Ford, Army.
Well, Osteen is experimenting with an old idea. It's a 180-degree crankshaft. It was popular during the 1960s. It makes a tremendous amount of mid-range horsepower and has such a unique sound, you never forget it.
But the sound not able to back it up with power today. 265.3 will drop him back in the pack.
Tony Osteen came to Bowling Green with hopes of that big win. You seemed awfully disgusted after that run. What went wrong?
Well, I think I started too slow. Just a new sled and a new engine and a lot of different things, and I believe I just started out too slow.
All the way up from Miramar, Florida. Here's Mr. Sparkle. This is Glenn Davis.
Glenn Davis has been around this sport a long time, just landing a new national sponsor. Believe me, doing a great job from the Sparkle Corporation. Parts washers. Let's see what Davis can do. Normally drives an all-green truck. He's blue and white, and he's booking in Bowling Green for the Chevrolet camp. Davis goes over to the right side of the track. He's hunting new track.
But he didn't get there. 267.1, another run short of our leader, Tommy Hulleman in the Saturday Night Driller.
Glenn Davis with the Sparkle Washer Service Special Chevrolet and an awfully good run this late in the field.
Yeah, you know, the guys that are leading right now, they are in the top 5 trucks, and I was a 30-second hook out of, the 44, and it felt really good for when I pulled. I thought the track was getting, tore up a little bit, and I had a good run coming down there.
James Hulleman now will be the next to try and knock Tommy Hulleman off the top spot. You've got to go 274.94 to beat him, and really the trucks as of late haven't been getting very close.
Well, Davis brought out an interesting fact, that being the track going away. If you'll remember, when we talked to Marino earlier, he said the track will not get any better, it'll only get worse. That's exactly what's happened. The truck get a real good run, and all of a sudden about the 200-foot mark, the weight nails them. That 274 is looking awfully good at this point in time.
That's a good pull, though, this late in the field, 269.59. That should put him in the top 5 or 6. James Hulleman, no relation to our leader, Tommy Hulleman, with an excellent pull late in a large class at Bowling Green. Ed Hamslovin brings Nightmare out of Morrisdale, Pennsylvania. The distance remains the same to beat, 274.94. Let's see what Ed's got for him.
Ed's trying to find out where he can put the awesome horsepower of the Nightmare into this track. The sled has kind of got the guys buffaloed. Every one of them finished their run. They say, I should have nailed it a little bit quicker because the sled caught me tight on the other end. Ed rolls out, got a good run going. The weight comes up on him. Chevrolet making horsepower.
Oh, yeah, looky here indeed. 273.5, Army.
It can still be done. Fast Eddie just showed us that.
That'll put him 3rd right now. Great run by Eddie Hamslovin out of Morrisdale, Pennsylvania. Nightmare. Roger Crawford and the Bandit will be the last one with a shot to knock the Saturday Night Driller off the perch at the championships in Bowling Green.
You can bet on one thing. The TRW Bandit driver has done his homework. If there's fight in the track, he'll know where to put the truck. Rolls out. The flag blowing in the breeze. The weight coming after the Ford Chevrolet on top. What's going to happen? No.
Good run, but not enough. The Bandit at 270 will land him 4th in the competition. Let's watch it one more time. The winning run, the winning pull. Tommy Hulleman and Saturday Night Driller. He takes the victory. The Tennessean, 2nd, 3rd to the Nightmare, 4th to the Bandit, and then the other Hulleman, James Hulleman, holds on to the 5th spot in 4th place. We'll be right back. Tough Tracks is back with the TNT All-American Pulling Series in Bowling Green, Ohio. You see Karen Witt snapping some pictures from the Pioneer C balloon. She's snapping pictures of the huge crowd and all the great pullers on hand at the National Pulling Championships in Bowling Green, Ohio. Boy, you talk about a spectacular entrance, Army. It's coming down.
Yeah, these people from Pioneer Seeds, they know how to make an entrance. The national anthem's over. We're ready to go pulling, and look what happens. Wow, the crowd is really getting into this. You know, the Northwest Ohio tractor pullers, they put this event, they work so hard every year, but this is the way they get rid of their president. listen to this. You're going to see Karen Witt from TNT come out of the balloon. These guys are going to put their president in it and send him away. Speaking of sending him away, we got a lot of action coming up a little bit later in the year, and a monster truck into the program.
November 18th and 19th. Come on out to Charlotte, North Carolina. It'll be the final matchup of the year for the TNT Monster Truck Challenge. You want to see him in action at Charlotte, North Carolina, the beautiful new Charlotte Coliseum, November 18th and November 19th. Maybe that's where Tom Kritzler's going to head right now, because he's heading up in that Pioneer Seed balloon, and we'll look for him flying out over the skies of Bowling Green. Like we say, who knows? We'll look for all of you in Charlotte coming up November 18th and 19th.
Scott, these guys do a great job, and it's kind of the crew members' way, the crew or the club members' way of saying, hey, thanks for all the great leadership you've given. Bowling Green is where it's happening in Poland. Charlotte sounds like it's where it's going to be the big wrap-up in '89 for the monster trucks.
The mini rides up now, and this is Belle Blosser, lovely woman who really knows how to drive a tractor, as she's going to be pulling in the Hillbilly Shaker out of Stanley, Virginia.
I tell you, Scott, I love this class. It's the outlaw sprint of this sport. It's a AA fuel alder. This power to weight, wheel speed, action. The power rides are coming out. Look at this. Belle running right down the middle of the track. This young lady going hand-to-head with the guys. Running a little bit up. 150-mile-an-hour wheel speed, and this young lady has made them all set up and take notice in Bowling Green.
283.8 will be the distance to try and beat. Coming right at you, Belle Blosser with the Hillbilly Shaker.
You know, her husband used to be a driver in this sport. He decided to let his wife get involved in it. She found out that she could drive it, that she's doing an awfully good job. She set the pace. Now everybody's got to go after her.
You saw the wheels lock up. The rear end actually broke on the Hillbilly Shaker, but she's got an excellent distance at 283.89. That's what they're shooting at. And taking the shot right now, this is Mac Attack, Robert Lenzini from Highland Park, Illinois.
One thing you got to remember about the mini rods, they have 1 horsepower to 1 pound of weight. That is an awesome power to weight combination, and it's just amazing. If anything happens in this sport, it happens so quick with the mini rods.
Not going to get there. Mac Attack at 274.1. Belle Blosser's still leading. TNT number 1 right now. Belle Blosser's number 1. Here's Glenn Gunther. Tough enough coming out to take a shot.
Gunther out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Boy, a premier driver in the sport. He builds a lot of these chassis. As a matter of fact, his company manufactures and sells the frames for these tractors. Many-time national champion. And you talk about a class guy. Gunther is that individual, believe me. However, right now, he's just like everybody else. He's going after the young lady who's sitting on the pole of this thing. Right hand's on the throttle. I want you to notice, if anything happens again, it'll happen quick. The feet are going to operate the brake, right hand on the throttle. Gunther comes out, works the left side. The Pioneer flags are flying in the background. Gunther looking good. Look at this, Scott.
A new leader.
He's out of here.
He's gone. Your right army of full bull. Wow, Glenn Gunther and Tough Enough taking the lead.
Well, Glenn Gunther, you're sitting in Bowling Green, Ohio, and everybody's got to come and play your game now. Is there anybody else back there that can do it?
I believe so. I believe we'll have probably 4 or 5 out before it's over with tonight.
What did the track feel like to you out there?
It was good. Good track. Solid track.
You ain't going to win this thing?
We're going to try. Do our best.
You're having fun doing this too, aren't you?
You bet.
You better believe Gunther's having a good time. You really have a good time when you make a full pull, and that's what he's done here in front of the crowd at Bowling Green, Ohio. Joe Station brings out Rolling Dice next to try and force a pull-off with Glenn Gunther.
Now, you got to remember, the class has a completely different complexity now. Gunther made the full pull. That means you must also make a full pull. Come back and get him in a pull-up, but look at the front wheels on this tractor. He's got him up out of the water trying to get the ground speed going. Not going to do it. Gunther stays on top.
283.5 is the official distance. That'll put him 3rd right now between Gunther and Belle Blosser. Let's go over to Joe Station.
What caused it to stand up like that?
Well, we like to run light in the front end so we can get the wheels to hook. If we can get them to hook, the front end will come off the ground. She'll stand her up. It should walk it out, but we don't have enough inches. We need a big motor to get her out tonight.
Tell you what, you impressed a lot of people in Bowling Green. Good job.
Now, this is a great place to pull, and it's just a pleasure to be here.
And there, once again, you get a good look at the pull. The Red Fox is up next. Dennis Horst. Dennis from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. And again, you got to get a full pull because Glenn Gunther has already taken it out of here.
Well, Horst is definitely capable of doing it. What I was looking at is where Horst is spotting the sled. A little bit off center to the right, I would say. Gunther about 1.5 feet to the left. Let's see if the groove is going to work for Horst. He definitely can make it. Now he starts to move around. Now you notice him starting to work. I told you anything happening in this sport has to quit. keeps working the steering wheel, the vehicle goes straight because the front wheels are not touching. He's not going to do it. Close, but no cigars, Scott.
Still an excellent pull, and for the moment, that'll put him second, 289.3. Army, what in the heck is that?
Welcome to Bowling Green, Scott.
Now, up to now, here's what we've seen. Tough enough, and Glenn Gunther with a full pull out in front, hoping not to have to go to a pull-off. Everybody else trying to force one. Red Fox and Bell Blosser's Hillbilly Shaker round out the top three. Now, Scott Amy, one of the top pullers in the mini-rod division, normally drives the Michigan Twister, but he blew his engine up a week ago. He's thinking